my name is Hannah Mathis, and I'm the president of Repair, which stands for Restoring, Educating, and Preparing Southwest Florida. Our leadership class put together an initiative to create a Zoom forum where we interviewed multiple people that have experience in affordability and sustainability after natural disasters such as Hurricane Ian. Take a look.
We had some Fish and Wildlife Service people come and visit us. This is Shannon Estenez, which is the Department of Interior. She came to visit, and on the other one, our director of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Again, might I note, two very strong women running conservation, one running Department of Interior, Parks and Wildlife, and then Martha Williams runs Fish and Wildlife Service. So people came to check on us. They needed to see the devastation so we could get support. We partner with Sanibel Fire. We gave them a vehicle. Sanibel Fire, once electric started coming back on the island, they needed brush trucks. They needed trucks to make sure and patrol, because as people, actually, there were some unfortunate situations, golf carts blowing up that were left plugged in, people's electric cars, homes burning down on Sanibel because of your electric car. And you can't put that stuff out. It's very difficult. So we helped and supported them with fire staff. Meeting people from all over. This is Operation Barbecue Relief. Who would have known? We ate barbecue during the day. And these people travel around to natural disasters. These are volunteers. We met some amazing people that just came to help and support, and people donate to them and they help feed first responders and workers like us. This is a video I took. It's not actually going to play as a video, but you can see the military showing up and dropping, coming right over us, which is the craziest experience, to have, and then dropping and picking up new dumpsters and people just bringing trash. I mean, it was just the only way they could fly it. You guys remember seeing all these military helicopters back and forth. They were heading to Sanibel to pick up things and switch things out. It was constant. So the rebuilding continues. We're shoring up the road. It's finally done. We're still shoring up trails. This was someone's cute little, the things you find. We found people's wedding albums and scrapbooks and picture frames, and some things you post and you hope if somebody wants it back, and you try to get things to people. But even during this, you can see there's FGCU over, coming out and helping us on cleanups, being a part of our community. We were there for the opening of the Sanibel School. We still continue to do outreach events at the firehouse, at the Iona McGregor. Whenever we could be out in the community, we had to clean up, and we're still cleaning up, but we need to also make sure the community knows we're still here, and to be a part of them is so important. Ranger Jess came out and did mindfulness at FGCU and is going to be working with the food forest coming up for our wellness week. Ranger Jess is trained in mindfulness and meditation. We started doing more of that. People needed that. We didn't have the facilities to host mindfulness and meditation. Everything was destroyed. But we met visitors, workers, residents at the Sanibel Rec, the rec department right next to us. And that's where Jess could perform and do mindfulness and meditation and help people through the struggling times. We continued our conservation cartoon contest. There we are at Patriot in December. So we didn't want to stop the normal cartoon contest, junior duck stamp, all of these educational programs offsite. We just had to kind of do double time and get some volunteers to help us. FGCU helped us with the judging of the junior duck stamp that just happened at Ding Darling. So thanks. So yeah, there's Ranger Jess leading mindfulness and meditation. She continues to do that. We're having a whole wellness week in May. It's going to be awesome. Also including FGCU and wanting to do more with campus with your group also. And I also, this is so bad, I'm plugging events too, but this Saturday is our Conservation Carnival at Lakes Park. It's our second annual. FGCU helped last year. It's Earth Day. It's all free. It's about conservation. It's games and ice cream and all sorts of programming. And this happens. And it's about taking Ding Darling. We want people to always come and enjoy Ding Darling. It's a long way. There's a toll. people have transportation issues to be able to get to Ding Darling. So our new goal is to, and has been for almost 2 years, to take Ding Darling off island. And as I build, I've got 3 rangers underneath me now. I just hired an urban ranger who's bilingual. She starts next week. I'm building a roving ranger. It's a box truck. It looks like a food truck. It's a visitor center on wheels. I'm going to be debuting that in November, hoping to bring it to campus during some of your things where we're just serving nature from the window is what we're going to be saying. You know, it looks like a food truck. We're going to be playing trivia. We've got speakers, just trying to find ways that we can get out to bring Ding Darling out to the community. So those are some things we're working on, and that's really, I just wanted to show you what happened. If people have questions, where we are now, where we're going, I can stop sharing. Oh, here's another crazy plug, shopdingdarling.com for our friends group. We started our Ding Strong campaign, and shirts, people bought over $75,000 worth of shirts that say Ding Strong. We had a big campaign. All of that helps rebuild Ding Darling in Sanibel. So that's the bright rainbow picture we took after the hurricane a couple days, and is a beacon of hope too. So if anyone has any questions.
Well, first of all, just thank you so much for talking to us. That was so interesting, and I think we've been working on this project for a really long time, but to actually like see the real life information in the pictures is just so different. My name is Stella, and Abby's over there, and we just have a few questions. Like, you answered so many of them, but just to ask you a few more things. With the whole of like Sanibel Island and the destruction after Hurricane Ian, like what do you feel was like the most devastating environmental like effect? Like, I know you touched upon the like boardwalk and like losing like all the connections, like all the places that you could have connections with like visitors and kids, but just like what do you think priority wise on your list like was the most devastating?
So the water quality is coming back. I have to point out too, I didn't even really touch on wildlife and how resilient wildlife is. I have to share, like, the first day back on the island, a bobcat ran across the parking lot, and it was so dead looking, like everything, and he blended in so well. I was just like shocked we even saw a bobcat. And then to see gopher tortoises, I think the first time I saw a gopher tortoise, I like started to cry because we thought they would all be gone. Like I'm thinking, how did even one survive? All of our gopher tortoise burrows that we have marked, and we scope them, and we make sure and we keep the ecosystem healthy. I mean, it's one of those protected species. It's, you know, iconic, and it makes homes for other animals, and we can go on and on and on. I never thought I'd even see one. Like, it's crazy. And we have a fresh burrow at the maintenance shop. So all of those are like such beacons of hope. So another thing, there's a family of raccoons that survived the hurricane outside Ding Darling. As you're walking up our ramp, there's a huge strangler fig on over a couple palms. It's a huge strangler fig that didn't fall down. And there was babies that came running down from the tree. Like the next couple of days after we were watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, they rode the storm out in the tree. So there's 3 babies left. We haven't seen parents, and they've been like eating the strangler figs and dropping them on our head, like the berries, as we're walking up and we've been watching them. We've been posting them on Facebook and stuff too. So thank goodness these little bits and how resilient wildlife is to make you feel like, okay, I can make it today. I can boat to work, trying not to get splashed with the water because you don't even know what's in it. And you're packing in, and there's no place to go to the bathroom. Like, there's all these things you think of, like, I can't even believe we're doing this for 6 months. You know what I mean? The water quality and the wildlife was obviously and continues to be our biggest concern. The facilities, I mean, we know anything man-made, it's going to be destroyed. Like, how do we go up against a Cat 5? It's finally determined it's a Cat 5. It almost makes me feel better. 161 miles an hour, right? And we just found out, USGS came out the next day and started marking the high water marks everywhere on Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach. The highest water, it crested on Sanibel at 13.09 feet. That was at Tarpon Bay Beach. which is on the other side from Tarpon Bay and the refuge, that's where it crested at its highest point. We know 6 feet by us, 4 feet at our maintenance. Our concerns is the water quality, the wildlife, because that it feeds us. It feeds us, it feeds tourism, it feeds our visitation. It's the health of us. And so that needs to be the #1 priority. So we work closely with SCCF and others where they're monitoring the water quality. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. There was probably so much more.
No, absolutely. That was perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm Abby. My next question is, do you feel that, I know you touched upon all the resources that Sanibel had and all the plans that were previously in place prior to the hurricane, but just overall, do you feel that Sanibel was equipped with the proper resources to handle a Cat 5 hurricane?
Ooh, that's like a loaded question, Abby. I do. Yeah, I do. The city always has a good plan. We have hurricane meetings to kick off the season. We all have our own meetings, but we meet as a community. Charlie taught us a lot with the mayor at that time, Marty Harity, who did a great job. And now Holly Smith, who's done a great job. It's those partnerships. Sanibel is unique. It is, I mean, I guess it's the only place I've ever worked, to be honest. I mean, I worked Corps of Engineers and some other places. It's been my life for most of my career, and I will end here. The community is like no other when we all know each other. It's only so big. That's good and bad, right? But you can pick up the phone and call Chief Dalton with the police. I can text the lieutenant, you know what I mean? I can talk to Holly. It's just like everybody knows everybody. And then we all leverage our resources. So as the federal entity, then the cities, the nonprofits, together, it all makes it happen. And we do that in conservation with water quality and going, you know, and then people lobby Tallahassee and we talk to the Corps of Engineers. I mean, we have these systems in place that we already do on a daily basis to help conservation. This was just, thank goodness we have a plan. Let's all put this in together. If we, you know, they called us, we have the most land mass on Sanibel. It's federal lands. It belongs to everybody. So, oh, you need dumpsters to be put somewhere. Oh, the military needs to be staged somewhere. I mean, it just, you open it up. We had an area of land. We still have so many appliances. I don't even know where they came from. They're on our federal land, mountains of just appliances, but they're hidden kind of back. So the public's not really seeing them if you don't. And every day more appliances leave the island, but you need places to stage that. Now, after this happens, we got to clean this all up. Like, this isn't done. When people think, okay, it's not, it's a long time that we're finally going to have to finish, but I think we were equipped. I think we could leverage and lean on each other, and we all bring our assets to the table, and we're still learning. I mean, we've never seen anything like this. Everybody's like, oh, I got interviewed, you know, lots of things about Charlie versus Ian. So different. So different. Never thought I would see the surge we saw. And now we've lived through this. And we're going to come back stronger.
To answer a few more questions.
Yeah.
So I know you touched upon like the wildlife and like visitors and like how like FGCU and volunteers and fishermen, which that's so like, it was so beautiful to see the community come together, especially I know with just like the Sanibel school, like that opening, that was pretty amazing. I just reading an article, I was moved by that. But like, just given your history with like wildlife education, like what do you think is the best way for just like regular citizens, college students, whatever, to like get involved in like both helping clean up and like in the future just to like continue the wildlife conservation like on Sanibel or just in general?
Yeah, there's still so much to be done. We were joking, like no piece of trash is too small, because you can take heavy equipment, and we needed heavy equipment. There were boats just lodged into the mangroves off Santa Cap Road. You're like, there's not supposed to be a boat here. And we had to get heavy equipment to pull that out. But the people, like the boots on the ground, every Thursday, and then it was every Wednesday, then it switched to every Thursday, of people coming out, grabbing a bucket and tongs, you know, the grabbers, and all they did is this. It continues. Like, we still are going to have cleanup days. This was a time where we had never partnered with Keep Lee County Beautiful. And everybody knows like that name, and they've got a poster contest, and oh, Keep Lee County Beautiful. They had never come out and actually done anything on Sanibel. And they brought out 100 workers on a Saturday, and we did 6 miles of Sandcap Road. And this is what volunteers like to do. They like to pick up trash. It's like, and they did so much work in those hours. So new partnerships came. There's going to still be opportunities. We'll still do call outs because, like I said, the trash, the microplastics, you know, these things don't ever break down, and they just get smaller and smaller and smaller and get into the ecosystem. And, you know, that's a whole nother discussion of maybe lifestyle change and sustainability and plastics and what has happened with all of that. But it's even more than just plastics, but we're seeing, you know, that stuff never breaks down, and it can get ingested by the wildlife. You know, everything looks clean. When you get up close to it, oh, we really could do another sweep through here. I mean, that's what we're finding. Or we clean this area and now there's more stuff in it because wait till we get afternoon rains, which we need afternoon rains to get the salinity levels, you know, they're insane out there. So we need this to be washed off and stuff. But every time we're having a storm and winds now, we're getting more trash blown in too. So it's going to be a constant battle. It's challenging. And then we'll do call outs, and it's always on Eventbrite, and we go through social media. We're always looking to have groups come out. There's a group from Tampa coming down today, adults from Tampa. I can't remember the group, but they're out cleaning at Ding Darling today. So we are always willing to take volunteers. We train you, we do some safety, you know, you're always accompanied with the group and make sure, it's still a long way to go. That's how people can help. Even those little things like our friends group that lost everything, or Tarpon Bay, they lost their trams, their boats, their bikes. They were one of the largest concessionaires to go enjoy Ding Darling. It's a business. All they have left is their kayaks. If you've never kayaked Ding Darling, go rent a kayak at Tarpon Bay, where FGCU came and helped us do water cleanup in kayaks with Ranger Jess. You can come out and support that business as they rebuild. So there's those little things where you can always help us clean up. You can go out and support Tarpon Bay Explorers, or you can, you know, shop online with our friends group. People can always do that too. It all benefits the refuge. There's just lots of different ways that people can help.
Well, that's fantastic to know. So thank you. And it's really awesome to hear that even though there's so much more to do, and there might have been things that could have been done there, it's really nice to know that there was a lot of people that came out, and that people do help each other and help bring the community together after such a horrible disaster.
And I have to tell you, those 66 high schoolers from St. Louis, we were like, oh my gosh, like, are they really? They were so hardworking. They were coming down for a spring training game on their, you know, alternative spring break. Really, they just wanted to come to the beach, which that wasn't much of that, right? And so they changed it into spring training, but they contacted us and spent the day cleaning the mangroves. They were the hardest working, you know, people. It was amazing. Wow. So it is nice to see. And you're just like, you know, people are like, oh, the next generation, you know, no. There's some bright lights in every generation, and we saw some really good, hardworking college and high schoolers that helped us.
That's really good to know. Thank you.
Little plug for your generation.
All right, I think that is all we have for you today. I just want to thank you so much for coming to speak to us. I think we all really enjoyed your presentation, and we definitely learned a lot from you. We're definitely looking forward to working more with you in the future. So thank you so much.